Hello, everyone. Come on in. I'm running a couple minutes behind today, just trying to get all this stuff caught up with each other. Instagram was giving me a little bit of difficulty, but we are here and we are ready. Make sure I got audio. Make sure I got all my banners set up. Come on in, get comfy. If you haven't already, make sure on Facebook, that you go to streamyard.com/Facebook so that I can see your comments. I've got quite a few different profiles and platforms going at the same time. So if you do that through Facebook, the other ones are kind of, YouTube allows me to see it, but Facebook does not unless you authorize it. You're just authorizing me to be able to see your beautiful comments. We are on day 17, everybody. Day 17. Bringing in some pretty powerful codes. And it's all in perfect flow. So that's what's awesome too. I feel like I got Instagram like right up here. I'm just experimenting with a different space. So I may change that. It's like you guys are like way up here. All right, come on in, y'all. If you have not, or if you can't already, just streamyard.com/Facebook so I can see your comments. Let me know where you're coming from. Let me know if you've been here for the journey so far, how it's been going for you, all those beautiful things. Just letting some people come on in. We got YouTube up and running. Make sure I got all my notifications. Guys, I'm so excited. It's such a good day today. Yes, yes, yes. If you don't know about Sunstone, if you don't know, now you know. You're going to be feeling pretty good after this one. So for those of you who were here yesterday, we were talking about forgiveness. The beautiful chrysoprase was bringing in this soothing energy, water energy. So of course, today, we get to play with fire. The fire of the beautiful sunstone. So, of course, talking about manifestation. We've got some healing going on in here, stepping into your leadership capabilities and skills. All of this to assist us to bring in the new iteration of our soul's evolution. Some of them, some people may refer to that is, soul's expansion, literally in this timeline, and to take the date that this has actually been done in real time, if you will, live. We're talking about going into a brand new year and releasing some old things that haven't been serving us, some old paradigms particularly, and moving forward into some beautiful new wisdom. Of course, nothing is really new. It is all within us already, and we are simply just allowing this beautiful wisdom to flow through and as us. But it can seem new when we are dealing with an expansive experience, when we are expanding our soul's evolution and kind of deciding to go beyond what we've been patterning before. So it's an exciting day today. Exciting stuff. So, okay, well, I think we can get started. My name is Lisa Sadowski. I am the founder of Life's Remission, where I assist women to get past their fear of recurrence and to live a life of unshakable inner peace and fear from freedom. For those of you who have not had the cancer experience, I'm sure you are familiar with the concept of recurring patterns and things which keep us from the fully expansive aspect of who we are meant to be. So for all of those involved, the reason it's called Life's Remission is because the first mission was to survive. life's re-mission now is to thrive, to live a life of thriving energy and actually thriving past everything that we actually take into our field. So we now know that that we are here, if you've been through any of these days so far, that we are sovereign, beautiful, unique beings and creations of Source, God, whatever you may refer to it as being, as representing, but it is the field of oneness, the unified field and the source from which all of that was created, including your individual soul. So we focus on, and I will take the title of a preacher of sovereignty, tapping in to the truth of who you are, that sovereign being that you are, and remembering that we always take accountability for this journey that we're on. And so this course of 21 days of crystal hardenings that came through were basically brought forth by Spirit in a particular order, not in order of hierarchy, but rather in order of flow, so that we could kind of move from crystal to crystal, from stone to stone, and kind of allow for this heart opening. So it's called 21 Days of Crystal Heartenings, which is a term which is brought to me by Spirit, but it's basically it's heart openings. So each crystal is going to tap into that heart aspect of us, that energy center of love within us. And it's an entrainment to a certain extent to get us in the habit and the practice of exercising from this field of heart opening, heart love energy. This is a new paradigm. We talk about the things that we are ready to drop and release and let go of. This is the goal. This is where we are unleashing the power from within. It all stems from this beautiful heart connection. And what we've also been talking about is the concept of the heart energy field combining with the, so what we know as a solar plexus by some definitions. Our core energy center, the place where manifestation occurs. And there's been a beautiful merging of these two energies, the heart with the solar plexus, which creates this powerful manifestation aspect, because now we're connecting that heart space, this truth of who we are, and we're goal setting, and we're setting intentions from this place, which allow the solar plexus to be activated in a new and empowered way, and actually deliver on some of these things that we've been searching for so many years, and saying that we're looking towards abundance and all these things. But there was a disconnect between the heart and the solar plexus area, and now this is merging together. We can hold the level of light within our bodies that is required in order for this next iteration of our soul's evolution. So welcome. With all that said, welcome to all those who have been here. Welcome to those, this is the first day you've been here. As I mentioned, this is in a flow, if you will, in order. And though the purpose of this order is to allow it to flow a little bit easier, but if that is not possible, as we are going pretty long every day. It started out as like an hour, and now we're going a little bit above that once I get to the meditation. But there's just so much beautiful information that wants to come through. So it's understandable if you cannot do it every single day. So this is, we'll have this recorded. We'll have this access. You will have access to it. Can't even speak today. You will have access to it. It seems like right now the platform that'll hold it the best will be YouTube. So I'll be setting up a membership setup so you can just get access to it, because I will be probably removing it from Facebook and Instagram just because it's all jarbled all over the place. So if you are not on the YouTube channel yet, either on Facebook or Instagram, I do have a LinkTree that has the YouTube link right in there. So just go to LinkTree. That the little link is up there in my bio. Click on that and then go to the YouTube account and subscribe, click the little bell so you can see when we go live, because I will be going live just like I am now. We've got more coming. This has been 21 Days of Crystals, and there's actually another series that is coming through. But I believe before that, we've got another series of essential oils, as I've been sharing with you. We've got some beautiful altar that I've got set up here, and essential oils have been an essential part of it. So there's a lot of more information coming through. A lot of it's going to be coming through either via lives that I'm doing or other membership programs that I'll be putting together. So there's just beautiful information coming. I do have, as a little plug, I do have, we will have a couple of things coming forward. We have ZenDenOnline, which will be the store, if you will, for all things sovereign sanctuary. So basically, this is sovereign sanctuary lifestyle. So right now, I've been talking about this state of sovereignty and this setting the sacred sanctuary every time we and get into any of these discussions, that we're making sure that we set sacred space, right? But the concept of sovereign sanctuary is really tapping into that accountability aspect of ourselves, knowing that we are responsible for our soul's evolution. And instead of, a lot of times we set up sanctuary, or we set up grids, right, or altars in our homes. And the way that Sauna Mist was actually created was with the concept of wanting to go mobile with it, right? When I was on the road, I wanted to create that sacred sanctuary wherever I was. And it became a very beautiful experience to tap into my sovereignty every time I did this. So hence came forth the concept of sovereign sanctuaries. And basically, we're looking at mobilizing and becoming this sanctuary. So we think of sanctuary as this place that we go to, this place that we tap into, when in reality, we are the sovereign sanctuary. We are that, if we choose to do so and we set that intention, we actually affect the environment that we step into when we set that intention. So there's a practice of setting sovereign sanctuary everywhere we go. And there's a process to do that. So the website ZenDenOnline will be having all these different products, oils and crystals of the month. We're doing a membership program where we're focusing on not only establishing sanctuary in your home or in a stable place, but for those of you who are moving around right now, not a lot of people are doing a lot of traveling, but even if you're in spaces where you can't literally set up an altar, or it's just kind of a highly toxic environment, knowing how to tap into that sovereign sanctuary that we all have the capacity to do. And a way that we can do that is by tapping into these energies of these crystals, these oils, and a lot of these things that assist in bringing forth that beautiful sovereign nature that exists within us. So that will be coming ZenDenOnline, where we'll be doing these sovereign sanctuaries bundles. Those will be coming out. Really aiming for the middle of January. Real goal is January 1st, but I'm being open to Spirit's request here. So I'm open to the date that is ready to be for you all. So we'll be having that launching, again, the Sacred Sanctuary bundles, where we'll be having every month you'll have a crystal and an oil of the month that you can choose from. We'll also be able to customize these Sauna Mist blends. These are actually sacred essential oils that I have put into an alcohol-free elixir, a sacred elixir. It's got crystals inside of it. We literally have all of the elements of the sanctuary in the bottle here. So one of the ways you can do that is taking these bottles with you. So we'll do one of these every month. The crystals inside, the oils that are in there are customizable for additional charges as well. So that'll be part of the Sacred Sanctuary bundles. And then we also have, for those of you who don't want the spray and just want the straight essences themselves and don't want a carrier liquid per se, that would be these beauties that actually have the crystals inside them still, but we have the oils, straight up oils, and it's a roller ball with a crystal on top. So you can put a little bit on right now. It's so beautiful. So we will have these available as well. So all of this, as well as other aspects like incense or whatever, we'll have the month kind of featured for the month. But I'm really excited about this because, again, this is just bringing forth this concept of this sovereign sanctuary that we are. And instead of focusing on the attachment to going to a sanctuary or creating one that we go to, understanding that we are that sovereign sanctuary within ourselves. And when we set that intention to bring that energy forth, we can then affect our environment and make some beautiful change. So that's my little spiel for y'all. So we'll be hearing more about that soon. Get ready for that. So let's talk about beautiful sunstone, this beautiful energy of sunstone. As you can see by the picture here, for those of you who are on Instagram, can't see that. See, I might have to change because at least I was being able to put the pictures on there before, but you can see there's a lot of sparkle in these babies, right? A lot of sparkle, a lot of fire. I mean, you all can see this on the screen there, but there's so much beauty in there. So much beauty, so much light. This definitely represents the solar ray, the sun, the grand central sun, if you will, energy, for those of you who relate to that term. Sunstone is actually comes from the yang energy, like the yin and the yang. So the yin, the yang energy would be the sunstone, and the yin energy, which is, this is the only way to get the yin energy, but it works very, very well with it, is moonstone. So I'm actually wearing a sunstone pendant, and then I have some moonstone earrings to kind of get that beautiful balance. And I want to say that, let me see something here. Before I guess it, let me just verify. Yeah. So we have the fire energy with the sunstone, and the moonstone is actually the wind energy. But again, we have this beautiful balance of yang and yin and yang energy. So moonstone is an excellent companion when working with the sunstone. The energy of sunstone is literally fiery. It's got a beautiful fiery energy to spark up some actual physical energy to assist with vitality. So sometimes we are not in a situation where we really want to have that vitality, that uptick, that really sparkly energy, but we want the other aspects of the sunstone to come through. So this is where wearing moonstone allows us to step into that beautiful calm aspect of this fiery wisdom that still wants to come through and not be highly overly energetic, right? So we've got vitality is a big aspect of it. Truly reflects some qualities of the solar light, the grand central sun. Taps in with the concept of openness, benevolence, warmth, strength, mental clarity. Again, when we're working with the moonstone as well, it assists in that balance of the wind energy, which is centered around the mind. But again, this is the fire energy. So we're going technically lower into the chakras, or the energy systems, if you will, just like the color represents. We're looking more at the red and the orange aspect. So, or more kind of like orange and even yellow aspect. So we've got the solar plexus and then the sacral energy. So again, I'm really amazed by the flow of all this, because yesterday we had that, again, that water energy tapping into self-forgiveness. And when we did that, we did a beautiful meditation to release that which didn't serve us, but also to connect this solar plexus in with the heart, right? We did that gorgeous activation yesterday. And that was to aid with forgiveness, to self-forgiveness in particular. I don't know if you noticed through the meditation, but it was really honed in on self-forgiveness. When we do that forgiveness practice first, when we start there, then, and we literally activate that solar plexus. Now today, as we have the sunstone with this connected energy of the second and the third energy centers, the solar plexus and the sacral, we've actually now gone a little bit deeper, integrating into the body and bringing it back up to the heart as we're processing through. So we're going to talk about that today. I did not cover yesterday. I've been wanting to, it came through to, since this last 7 days of this, since it's kind of been broken up into 3 patterns of 7, this 21 days. Kwanzaa began on the beginning of that last 7 days. So I didn't cover yesterday's was Kuji. I always get it wrong. Kuji Chagulia. Yes. yesterday was Kujichagulia, which is the energy of self-determination, right? And we were working on self-forgiveness to be able to get us through that, to define and to name ourselves. So that's what I didn't get to mention yesterday. Today is actually Ujima, which is collective work, building community and solving problems together. So this is where, so I just wanted to kind of integrate that in here to pay honor to a beautiful culture that has so much wisdom that I don't think we really honor enough, to be honest with you. So yeah, Ujima is the Swahili word for collective work, and considering the concept of building community and solving problems together. So makes sense that we're in this group with this beautiful sun energy, and we're actually tapping into this collective energy of raising the human consciousness, right? Vitality coming in and manifestation. The biggest thing of the sunstone, yes, is manifestation. This is a beautiful stone of manifestation. And the way that it does that is by tapping into our leadership skills. So some stones of manifestation are more with action, assisting with taking action in a physical way, which this does assist with as well. But in particular, this is also tapping us into our leadership skills and being heard and being effective at that level with regards to leadership. So it instills this fire of leadership, this inspiration, right, of this inspirational flame. And I didn't wear my other jewelry. I just had this today, but I wanted to talk about some of the jewelry that or ways you can wear it. It's about a pendant right here. The pendant actually, especially over the heart, it actually allows for aligning with heart wisdom. So we're bringing in this heart wisdom. Again, we've got that solar plexus activated and that sacral experience as well, sacral energy center activated. So when we have this over the heart, it's actually aligning the heart's wisdom with the mind's inspirations. So as we get these beautiful ideas, we actually integrate them down into the heart to make sure that they're clear. And as we take action upon them, they're serving the greatest and highest good. And as far as rings are concerned, depending which hand is dominant, if you wear it on the left or the non-dominant hand, it actually assists with bringing what one needs or desires forward. And if you wear it on the right hand, the transmuting hand, it assists with healing. And actually, and again, some people, the dominant hand is not the right hand. So whichever that applies for you. Channeling healing and blessings to others. Part of this leadership aspect is actually, well, a couple of things. We're taking responsibility for the common good. I talk about this sovereign nature, right? Sovereignty comes also with the responsibility and an understanding that we are here to assist the greater good. Some people call it work. Some people see it as something that we have to do. But if you really dig into it, who is included in the greater good but each one of us, right? So this is literally just another aspect of why we are here. And so when we talk about leadership from this perspective, we're talking about, number one, taking responsibility for tapping into the common good. And then there's assumption that's made on where responsibility merges with the will to manifest the highest expression of spirit as and through the collective consciousness. So basically what we're saying here is, instead of just having that aspect of leadership where we are in control, which again, that was the old paradigm where there was leadership represented taking control and owning and manipulating even to certain extents. We now understand that the life of service, true leadership, resonates with this new paradigm, if you will, which isn't, again, not new, but it's been existing, of living in a life of service, of assisting others to raise the common consciousness, right? So this is basically how we manifest the highest expression of spirit as and through the collective consciousness. But basically, we're looking at leadership as an act of being of service to others rather than others being of service to self. Okay, so this is a shift that's happening right now. This is why we're getting this kind of new activation of the solar plexus right now, because we're going rooting deeper into the sacral, right? Where we're actually moving things through the body and digesting how things, when we digest things that are digested in the physical, we're literally taking those things, processing them through the body and transmuting them into physical energy. Based on what we eat determines what level of energy we get, right? So from this perspective, this is again coming into the transmutive aspect of what we're here to do. We're looking at leadership as the act of being of service, right? And grounding into that rather than others being of service to oneself. So we're really rooting in, taking that beautiful solar plexus energy, that energy of manifestation, and rooting it into the body and essentially bringing it down into the earth, if you will, so that we can have the overflow flow into this beautiful essence of the new earth that we are creating, and in order to, and raising the human consciousness so that this new earth can be revealed. So yeah, we're getting rid of that old paradigm. If you're not down with it, you might want to get with it now, okay? The old paradigm of leadership was control, was dictatorship, and we're seeing a shift in that aspect. Now, that does not mean, let me be very clear about this. When we release the attachment to control, when we release the manipulative aspect of it, that does not mean that we just go with the flow. This is a leadership. This is you're tapping into the leadership aspect of ourselves. So we don't just become followers. We don't just become somebody who follows without asking any questions. This is lighting the fire within to actually tap in with that which is for you to do, instead of just allowing someone or the belief system that someone outside of us can do that for us. So there's a shift here that needs to happen, not only with regards to those who were previously being dictators, who were controlling situations, but there's also a work that needs to be done for those who were supposedly victimized, or those who, and I use that word because we are never victims as sovereign beings. We are ownership. We take responsibility and ownership of our entire spiritual evolution. No one has control over that but ourselves. So as we tap into this aspect of ourselves, we can then see and allow things to come forward, that to be revealed, of what was it that maybe I was kind of just letting slide? What was I consenting to just strictly by omission? Maybe I didn't say I consented to certain things, but by the fact that I'm not consenting to them, I'm allowing them into my field, and they therefore are controlling me. When we step into this divine role of leadership, we not only do not have an experience where we allow others to manipulate us or control us, we also, though, however, step forward at the front of the line as a leader of our own, in our own rights, to take control of our soul's expansion. So this is something else that's really coming through right now, is that part of what yesterday's exercise was with regards to self-forgiveness was so that we could step into this leadership role. A lot of times, why the reason that someone isn't stepping into that role is for fear of failure, or remembrance of supposed failures that have been in the past that bring about a fear of stepping forward. So this is to enable that full connected aspect of leadership, so that we step in and forward into our truth and we act upon it, instead of allowing things to be, handled around us. And that is why we are in the political environment that we are today, because that representation of our leadership then and even now is a direct correlation and direct response to the collective evolution, the collective energy. We all created this reality, otherwise it would not exist. So understand that as we go into a new level of leadership, a new, even from a political standpoint, we have a new leader coming in. We now have to step forward with this from a different perspective, instead of being controlled or told what to do. Not that we are rebelling just for the sake of rebelling, but we are actually stepping into that truth more and more, and making sure that we are fully expressed in all aspects of our life. And so standing up for that which does not allow us to do that is key right now. So let's see, what else? What do we got here? The old paradigm of leadership, like I said, power for personal gain, controlling the will of others. Let's think about that. It literally was part of the paradigm to control the will of others, both actually in this timeline, in this physical realm, in the politics, right? It was set up to control the will of others, but there were also at an energetic level, there were some energies out there that were trying to control the will, but that cannot be. We are sovereign owners of our own will. The only reason that we would be manipulated or convinced otherwise is when we allow that to happen, when we allow energies to come in and contradict or dictate what we do. We allow that to happen. And so that means if we allow it to happen, that also means that we can stop it from stop allowing that to happen, right? And we take responsibility, like I said, for the common good. I think I covered most of these goodies. On a physical aspect, it's really good for establishing and increasing physical stamina. So meditating with Sunstone will definitely give you some sense of vitality. And it's tapped in, like I said, those lower per se chakras. So yes, we are talking about sexual energy as well. You've got some energy on that front that comes with this beautiful stone. But also what it does, what resides in that is anger. The emotional undertone of anger resides in those energy centers. So what Sunstone actually allows us to do is to transmute that energy into usable and energy that is serving our highest good. So we're not only transmuting the anger, we're actually evolving it into something that could serve us and giving us momentum to go higher, to serve our highest and greatest good. So we turn anger into energy and judgment into joy. When we're connected with this higher aspect of ourselves, there's no need for judgment. We're just in this beautiful place of joy. So this is another transmutive aspect of it, to take that concept of judgment. Again, judgment typically being fear-based, because why would you need to judge someone if you were completely out of fear? The only reason we do that is for fear of the unknown, or there's many reasons we do that, but it's usually centered around the concept of fear. And again, we're here to live life's mission of thriving, not just a survival experience. And keep in mind also that survival aspect of ourselves, those moments in time where we did act because we were coming from the space of survival, understand that did serve us. And so we just want to give recognition to that as well. When we can see the value of the things that happened that weren't so pleasurable, and allow that to be what it is, and leave an opening for a more beautiful, ease and graceful experience in life. Okay, so it actually physically assists with warming the body. It assists with increasing metabolism, again, getting that vitality going, digestion, balances the endocrine system and the hormones, any hormone issues as well. So, and then, like I mentioned, some of the stones that work well with it are moonstone, which, like I said, it brings in that yin energy. Labradorite, which I actually brought right here, wanted to be with us today, which assists with magic and manifestation. So we will have that with us for the meditation. For those of you who saw labradorite, that was one of our, I think, our first 7 stones we went through. And then moldavite, I don't have a big stone with me right now, but I'm wearing it. So I do have moldavite here. Moldavite assists with aligning you with this energy with one's higher purpose. So moldavite is really keeping that vibration nice and high, keeping us in a beautiful field of consciousness, and then allowing that information for the highest life purpose to come through. All right, so I think I covered all the goodies. Also, again, I've been called to mention the oils. So the past couple days, I have had myrrh and myrtle that were really wanting to be present here. And it's interesting because I know that the days that are coming, I see them, but I'm not really thinking about them because I'm so focused on channeling for that one particular day. As far as the order is concerned, I haven't memorized the order. And it was interesting that myrrh came through and myrtle. as we were going through the Larimar, which had the Mother Mary energy coming through, the original Miraphor, which is, and I talked about that another couple days ago. So the myrrh is, and it's also very good for forgiveness. So what did we cover yesterday but forgiveness? So again, just they've been wanting to be mentioned, that these oils have been present with us, and they've been bringing forth some beautiful energy here. So we have myrrh here. We have myrtle, common myrtle, which is to be a little bit of an experience of a portal essence. It's allowing kind of like a little liaison between the world of essential oils, if you will. But it's also, what it's doing is clarifying that we're bringing forth truth with a capital T. So myrtle assists with revealing that truth. And then we also today, though, we added in here that wanted to be in, we had Palo Santo, which represents divine protection. And it's a purification oil, or even the plant that, I don't know if I have a stick with me right now, but you can burn the actual wood, the Palo Santo wood. So that actually represents divine protection. It actually sets forth a beautiful energy of purification, but it's not as astringent as, say, a sage would be, where it's just kind of getting rid of all energies, clearing it completely. Palo Santo is doing that clearing, but it's also following up with a beautiful connection to the angelics to kind of bring and fill in this higher vibration. So Palo Santo is here with us. And then we've got Copaiba, or also known as Copal, that many use when we're going into deep meditation. We want to do some more grounding work and tuning in to the physical body. So it's also it also represents healing. Copaiba or Copal is very similar in cellular structure as cannabis is. It's actually got very similar receptors as the cannabinoids do as well. So, and I think if you heard me mention about the essential oils before, what we're actually doing is these essential oils are stimulating the olfactory, going straight, breaking through the blood-brain barrier and creating a chemical reaction in the brain, as if you're actually consuming that item, right? And sets forth the activities in the body. Even if we had that physical thing in our bodies, it's triggering the mind to serve the highest and greatest good. So Copaiba stimulates a lot of those receptors that cannabis does. No, you're not gonna. It doesn't have THC in it, so you won't be getting high. I'm sorry to disappoint you on that one. But from a healing perspective, it gives you the beautiful energies of the healing aspects of that cannabis does, but also without all the other stuff as well. And cannabis is a very beautiful plant as well, so I'm not even dissing that. It's just that right now that Copaiba has wanted to come through. And so just to give you an update, that's what we're working with the past couple of days. So I've got it, the oils are sitting here, setting space with me in this beautiful environment for us before we go into meditation. So I think we've got everything I wanted to cover. There was so much that really wanted to come through. Yeah, Sunstone is just, it's one of those beautiful activators. So I'm loving that it decided to come through today. As we are winding down the year, for those of you who are doing this live, and as we were getting ready to step into, whether you are doing this live or whether you are doing this in this timeline, stepping into a new iteration of ourselves. And you know, when we've come through any type of trauma, and we've come through any type of life experience that has challenged us, it's really important to tap into the lessons that have been there, even for the things that don't feel so good, especially for the things that don't feel so good, because we are all chemical beings. We are alchemists that are able to transmute this beautiful energy, and sometimes it's not so beautiful energy, right? And so when we have something like Sunstone coming into our space, it's reminding us that we have this capacity and this innate ability to take anything that comes into our field that is not of our highest and greatest good, see it for what it is, and transmute it into love. We have that capacity to do that. And all it is a simple intention. It's an intention to be aligned with that belief system and allow that truth to come forward. So this is what Sunstone is going to assist us with. So for those of you who haven't joined the other days, something that Spirit brought forth was the concept of going higher, deeper, and wider into each of these stones, and how they could assist with our own spiritual evolution. So we're going to do that with Sunstone today. I'm going to talk about going higher. So what came through with this is that each of these words, higher, deeper, and wider, automatically triggers something in the brain for you to be able to kind of, for the most part, for people to kind of understand what we're talking about, right? And then at the same time, it's asking us to consider a different term to actually, instead of, for instance, the word higher could instill a sense of hierarchy, right? Sometimes we consider heaven being above us, heaven being outside of us, and then, you know, the other aspect, the not so much heaven being below us, right? But the truth is that spirit in its fullest, spirit is omnipresent, omnipotent, always in its fullness, in all ways. So if it is in all ways, in its fullest, in its fullness, there is no higher, lower, or anything in between when we are tapping into that source energy and allowing it to come through us and manifest as us, or come through us. When we exercise in this way, we understand that spirit is all around us. This source energy, this beautiful divine source energy, whatever it is that you call it, is always around us and always full in its fullness. So if we understand that, and we're now contemplating the concept of going higher, right? Higher vibration, higher experience, we instead consider that the term release. So we're asking ourselves, what can be released so that more may be revealed in order to get into this higher aspect, this higher vibration we say all the time, right? The higher field of consciousness, a higher perspective, right? That's stepping back and kind of being the observer of life rather than being the victim of it. When we understand that in this physical body, that we are integrating this beautiful wisdom to come into this physical body, when we do this, we first need to make sure that we are making space for this much light to come through us. And we're dealing with a brain, just like a hard drive. I mentioned this before every day, that there's a certain capacity that the brain can contain. There's a certain, like a hard drive can only hold so much memory. So what we need to do, since we are in this physical body, right? This is what we're here to do, is live this physical life, is make sure that we're clearing our mind of that which does not serve us. Release what can be released, what needs to be released, so that more of our highest and greatest good can be revealed, right? So that more of this beautiful, high vibrational, high frequency light can be revealed. So again, when we're considering the concept of higher, instead consider the word release and ask what can be released so that more may be revealed in order that I can step into this higher aspect of myself, right? And Sunstone really assists with that, because it is already tapping into those energy centers, which, again, that digestive aspect of ourselves, the things that we digest, whether it be food or whether it be terminology or whether it be words or things that we allow into our environment, converting that into positive energy. So making sure with this, from the Sunstone's perspective, it's saying, what is it that I want to let go of so that I can, more of this truth and beautiful light can be revealed. And Sunstone comes in as this representation of your leadership skills. And as a leader, we are required to know and to take accountability for our actions, and typically the actions of the common good, which typically could be a team if you're in a work environment. But here we're talking about a collective consciousness that we're all tapped into our leadership skills, while also being part of this collective energy. So again, if we as individuals tap into what needs to be released so that more may be revealed, this is where we can really get to those higher vibrations and allow that higher energy to lift us, to uplift us, rather than being held down by the things that are really denser energies and do not allow us to fully expand, right? Okay, so that's the higher. So go higher, deeper, and wider. So deeper, Here, Spirit asks us to consider the word rooted. Again, deeper could be perceived as lower, or something that's beneath us. And again, we're not in a world of hierarchies here. We're considering that how can we get rooted into the truth with a capital T of who we are? How do we get rooted into this information? And when we ask, what truth is calling for deeper embodiment? So in the first step, with the higher concept of releasing, letting things go, it says, what can be released so that more may be revealed? Once we figured out what it is that's wanting to be revealed, right? Then we hone in on which of those revelations is in this moment calling for deeper embodiment. And if you really wanted to be, awesome, you could go attack all of them at once. But typically, the mind wants to process one at a time. So as we release from the first step of allowing things to fall away, so that more may be revealed, once those revelations represent themselves, then we ask what truth is calling for deeper embodiment. So we're kind of honing in and focusing on which of those things that have come to be revealed are we going to, which of those wants to really be deeper embodied in our physical experience, and how can we express that more in our day-to-day lives. So the way that Sunstone actually assists with that is, again, tapping into that leadership capacity, the leadership aspect of ourselves. The biggest key of it is discernment. Discerning that which, you're making decisions all the time. We are not sitting in a passive experience as a leader. As a leader, our discernment is key. So the Sunstone actually allows us, or this energy of the Sunstone actually taps us into the remembrance of this divine power of discernment that we have, and reminding us to call that forward. And when we apply this concept of discernment, this divine discernment, right, then we can tap in onto whatever truth it is that we want to work on. But we're from this centered space, so we're ready to take action. We're prepared, we understand, and we're getting a course of action at this point, right? And we may not even see the whole picture. We may not understand exactly what that means. But by setting the intention of wanting to go deeper, wanting to get rooted, and setting that intention of wanting to know what that truth is that is calling for deeper embodiment, this is where we can really move farther in our accelerate the spiritual evolution process. So sleeping with Sunstone under your bed really is good for assisting with some of these discernment aspects. For those of you who are not really into, having a difficult time with making decisions overall, because for fear of being wrong, or fear of affecting other people in the wrong way, or whatever it is that your mind may have convinced you to be true, this is where Sunstone reminds us of the capacity of discernment that we have within ourselves. And when we tap into that higher wisdom, we know that the decisions that we make are from love, and we know that they're from the heart space. So we no longer have fear over making the wrong decisions, because we know when we're deciding from that divine place, it always is here to serve the greatest good. That is all that these higher avatars can do. They're here to serve the greatest and highest good. So when we call forth that energy, and we have something like a Sunstone with us, that assists us in doing that. So again, for those of you who are, maybe it's a concept of not wanting to have conflict with someone, or not wanting to engage directly, has more of a passive experience in decision making. This could really help to stimulate that fire within to make a decision. Understand that in order to be a successful manager, you only have to be right 51% of the time. I mean, that's really, literally, that's considered a successful manager, which means you have to be open to supposed failure for the other 49% of the time. You still have to take those steps that won't manifest in the way that the human mind might think that will. But that doesn't mean we're not heading towards the highest and greatest good. So this is where Sunstone can really assist with that. And lastly, but definitely not least, is so we went higher, we considered deeper, and now wider. And Spirit's asking us to consider the word inclusion. So instead, we're saying, what opening wants to occur in order to assist with my spiritual expansion and ascension? So what we're talking about here is, again, the reason wider doesn't really could have some other connotations to it, is because we could see it from a physical standpoint. In our physical bodies, you consider the word wider, and we correlate that with our eyes, our two eyes that we physically have in the body. and the perspective that they allow us to see. But if we step outside of that and go actually the eye behind the eye, the knowingness behind these two eyes, right? We instead consider the word inclusion, and we ask, what is it that wants to be included in my world, in my field, that I may have actually been excluding, that I have actually been cutting out of my life? What is it in this protective bubble that I've created in my world, right? This little experience that I've created called life, where only certain things are allowed to penetrate this field. If we instead ask, what is it that wants to be, what opening wants to occur in order to assist with my spiritual expansion and ascension? What can I include into my field that I have been resisting? And the reason we want to do this is because, like they say, that which we resist persists. So the more you push away from these things, the more they're going to come up and surface again. So you might as well just, be in more control of that, right? Why not get proactive about it and make sure we're knowing what these little things are that are trying to hide away from us, and instead seeing them for what they are and understand that they have no power over us. They simply are experiences that are bringing forth lessons and blessings into our lives. But when we resist them because we judge or we decide that they are not good, and I'm not saying we go out and do all these horrible things, that's what we include. You still use that discernment. Remember, we just talked about the concept of divine discernment. With that divine discernment, we can look at things, and I guarantee you're going to find some things that you've been keeping out of your life that are wanting to come forward in order to allow you to assist in that spiritual expansion. So the way that that Sunstone assists with that is, again, it's that beautiful activation of the solar plexus, right? And it's ready to take action. It's ready to go forward. It's ready to manifest. And when we step in with this beautiful divine discernment, and we combine it with this power of manifestation that Sunstone brings forward to us, now we're really creating a beautiful reality. And we're creating the world that allows us to expand. And when we do that, it sets up a model for others to do the same. If any of you have noticed so far, it's not so easy to instruct people on what to do. It's a lot easier to demonstrate it, to be the truth of what we are. And I keep referring to this concept of sovereign sanctuary, right? We are getting in the habit of being the sovereign sanctuary that we seek. So part of this all, and you all thought that, this was going to help you to create these little sanctuaries and create your altars and go to these crystals to make you feel better. But if you haven't received a theme yet, the theme is that you have the power to create this all yourself. And not only that, it is actually your responsibility to be that emanation of this sovereign experience, this sovereign sanctuary, where instead of going to places of repose, you become that beautiful place of repose everywhere you go. Whether you have a physical altar that you can create or whether you don't, we're integrating this concept of sovereign sanctuary within ourselves. So moving forward, all of these stones understand, and the oils and everything else that I'm talking about here, they are all here to tap in to the sovereign aspect of ourselves and to remind us of what we really are here to do. And that's to be the demonstration of divine love, divine peace, divine joy. And it can't be faked. This is an integrity way beyond anything we've ever been held accountable for before. So this is a deep, deep level of integrity that now, as we are expanding and growing as a human consciousness and getting more in touch with this heart space, you can't BS your way through this work anymore, people. Newsflash, you can't just kind of bounce around it for a little bit. If you haven't realized it already, we've literally created a political environment to demonstrate that to us. We created, even within the health sector, the doctors and the things that we've leaned on for so long and expected them to heal us are literally throwing their hands up in the air saying, we don't know what to do for you. Literally go home and fix yourself. I mean, that's kind of where we're at, right? Because we just don't know how to. This is a collective reflection on us not taking accountability for our own spiritual evolution. And it's going to manifest in the physical, which it has demonstrated over this past year of 2020. And I'm sure it will continue in some way, shape, or form to manifest in the years that come for those of you who watch this in the future. So knowing that this sunstone energy is really tapping us into that sovereign aspect of herself, lighting and igniting this beautiful flame of abundance, this beautiful flame of manifestation, vitality, instilling that within us at a cellular level. So I think that's all I got for y'all, the higher, deeper, and wider. Hopefully you're able to tap into some of that beautiful fire energy from Sunstone. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and close out this evening with a beautiful meditation. So let's get everyone comfortable in your seats, in your whatever it is, your positions that you're in. Just get comfortable. Get grounded into the body. Let me put this a little bit bigger. Let's see what I was doing for Instagram. Oh, I know what I can do. I can have you guys. No, that's not going to work. I think I like my other setup before. So I think we're going to do that next time. Sorry, Instagram peeps. Wish I could just like tape this to the thing so you could just tune into the energy of Sunstone. If you like, you can hop on over to YouTube if you don't want to go into Facebook, but I have a picture of the stone on YouTube and Facebook for everyone to tune into right now. So just kind of tap into this beautiful energy for those of you on Instagram. The beautiful sparkle energy that you see here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at that. Beautiful energy of Sunstone. All right. Taking a deep breath of pure love, divine joy. We're exhaling it as well. Just fully getting into the entirety of our systems. Both on the inhale and the exhale. This time we're bringing in all love, all joy, all peace, and the highest love and light. Inhale. And release. And one more deep inhale of the solar ray, the beautiful sparkling energy of Sunstone. Bringing it into the center of our core. Breathing out love. Allowing this powerful energy of the great central sun the fire of creativity, that resides at the core of our beingness and in the now represented by our heart space and our solar plexus area, the center of our chest. Tapping into the concept of sacred spaces, sacred heart, as some religions refer to it. The fire energy of the solar plexus, combining with the divine purity of the heart space. And this beautiful creation of energy at the core of our being is informing the mind, informing the analytical aspect of ourselves, that love is all that there is. Informing the busyness of the mind. To tap into the heart. recounting over the past year many of the lessons that have come forth that didn't feel so good in the body. That it's physical pain, physical illness, mental thoughts that are racing, thoughts of fear, doubt, scarcity. Allowing all of these thoughts to come forward. All of them. And knowing that they cannot hurt any of us. They're simply memories. They are simply recollections of experiences. And knowing that in the now we're calling forth the highest aspect of each and every one who is part of this transmission, whether in the now moment or in the future now. Only the highest aspect of each one here is allowed into this field. Anything less than that, anything less than the highest and greatest good, is sent back to source, raised to its highest vibration, and instantly transmuted into love. Nothing exists here but the highest love and light. For in this field, that is all that can exist. And while there are moments to tap into the different aspects of the colors of the spectrum of life experiences, we now know that from this centered sovereign state, from this place, all is well. All is perfect. All is here to serve our highest and greatest good. Feeling into this beautiful fire energy at the center of our core, allowing it to warm the body, stimulating the energy centers. They may have been a little bit quiet, may have been a little bit too passive, awakening and activating all energy centers and clearing and charging as such. Feeling into a full alignment and recalibration up and down the entire body. All bodies, the emotional body, the physical body, all bodies of our expression, the soul's expression. Cleared, recalibrated, updated, upgraded, made new again. And as these updates are happening, we feel the energy of the grand central sun coming in with a powerful and beautiful energy of purification, purifying all that is within its view. This bright, bright energy of golden light. drawing us into this purification process. This recalibration of the body. This healing energy that penetrates through to the core at a soul level and at a physical level on the cellular level. Allowing the beauty of this penetrating light to just expand, beginning from our core and pouring out into the universe, into the cosmos. This healing light energy. This beautiful energy of the central sun combines with the powerful output of the heart center. This is the ultimate space of manifestation. Where divine discernment is at the core, and divine will is at its fullest expression. We are called to be the individual expression, the unique creation of source energy, to be expressed from here. We ground into this central sun, and we realize that this is the sovereign sanctuary. This is the light that each of us carry within to be the effect, to affect the environment wherever we go in such a beautiful way, an uplifting way, that anything that does not serve us has no choice but to fall away. There's no conflict. There's no negotiation. This is simply a power center, an energetic field of creation, manifestation, and soul's expression at the highest level and in the highest frequency. The manifestation of the new earth, our individual new earth that we are creating, linked in with the collective good, highest and greatest good. And feeling into the igniting of this fire within of so many souls across the cosmos, an awakening, an attunement to this sovereign space. A heartening, a heart opening. Seeing the souls connect with each other in a new way. Connecting through the heart, communicating through the heart, which allows us to expand this field of consciousness, upliftment. To be this individualized expression and to know that we are never alone. Yet, there is no one exactly like us. Knowing that we are an integral piece of the connected energy of the consciousness. Yet, individualized to its fullest. Oneness and uniqueness in the same experience. Integrating that truth into the body. And allowing these codes of truth to run the entire systems in the body now. This is the field of creativity. This is the power center. And we are in remembrance of the master manifestors that we are. And in such deep gratitude to Divine Source, God, Spirit, Creator of all. Such divine gratitude for being a co-creator of this thing called life. This beautiful, grand sun energy flowing through us and as us continues to emanate further and further out into the cosmos with every thought of creation that comes to mind. Every divinely guided thought of creativity, of joy, of love, every single one of those comes through this beautiful heart space and is just as integral to this expression as everyone beside them is. Complete equity. No hierarchy. Simply unity. With that purity of intention, this beautiful central sun energy grows brighter and brighter and brighter, filling our beingness with confidence, wisdom, strength, self-love. Deep truth and wisdom. And such deep gratitude for all of the beautiful ancestors, avatars, highest love and light beings, ascended masters who have come forth to assist with this beautiful transmission of light. As each of them are in such deep gratitude for all of the sacred yeses, for those who have chosen to open up to this communication. The gratitude is so returned. This mutual gratitude state brings forth a peace beyond human understanding. Joy instead of judgment. Take a second to give thanks to your spiritual team who has come to be present, your highest aspect of yourself who has assisted with your participation. And rest that deep gratitude in your heart space and allow it to hold you and to remind you that you are whole, complete, and perfect in this space. You are love. Tap back into the physical body. More deep gratitude for this beautiful gift, this temple that has been bestowed upon you to live within, to reside. The true essence of yourself exists within. Feel your feet, your hands, your toes, your fingers, entire body. Such a beloved gift you are. And ground into this beautiful energy, and when you are ready, open your eyes. And come back. Welcome back, everyone. The beautiful light activation there. Hopefully you're tapping into this powerful energy of manifestation right now that's coming through. There's a wonderful opportunity to create a powerful portal for rapid expansion, for deep wisdom to come through, and just really feeling into that energy today. Hopefully you felt it. All right, everyone, we've got day 18 tomorrow, and telling you these last ones that are finishing us off are so beautiful. There's a theme with the colors that are kind of familiar with here. We got this beautiful red orange theme going on. So I'll just give it a little hint. We got some more fire energy coming tomorrow, a little bit more grounding happening. And So we're going to take this manifestation energy, this energetic vitality. We're going to take all that tomorrow. We're going to really, really get it into the physical body even more so. So this is a really powerful manifestation time. This is a deep, deep time of embodiment at a cellular level that is happening. And we're going to finish off these last few days really, really powerfully. So thank you all for your yes. Thank you for being here tonight. And excited to see you tomorrow. Day 18 tomorrow. Right back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And I'll see you then. Peace and